Thank you again, everyone, for staying with us, and thank you, everybody who are following us and giving us support. Today, we're talking about deep, deep love. Understanding yourself so that you can maximize your purpose and your love to others. In this segment, we're talking about love for community. Doug Wood is the owner and CEO of U3 Enterprises, and he helps understand, what's the first one? Uncover, understand, and unleash your purpose. Doug, and this segment we're going to talk about the community and the corporation as how we play, as how an individual play in this world. And so we were talking about defining your purpose so that you can maximize, you can be content in whatever you're doing. So where shall we start?
So in terms of a community or a team or a company working together, it's very common, actually it's normal for us to see teams or companies within 12 to 24 months increase their productivity and their profitability 100 to 300%.
Wow.
And people, when they hear that, they're going, "That there's no way that could be true."
Yes.
But here it is true, and here's why. Because most people, when they hire or put somebody on a team, they put them on a team because of their ability first, and then second, that they seem to have good behavioral they seem to be good people. They seem to have chemistry. But they only take into account 1/6 of a person. They don't take into account all their interests, their abilities, their values, and they don't take into account how they work best in a project. They don't take into account what roles the best way they fulfill. They want to impact their impact or shape or mold their environment. And they don't take into account how they think, how their thought process works. And so when companies understand that in themselves and create teams around that, then all of a sudden they go from scheduling or programming their people with maybe it goes up like 500 or 600% in effectiveness because you're using all of a person, not just a person.
I see. Oh, see that? How can somebody maximizes their worth? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if you were just using 1/6 or 1/5 of a person's ability instead of using all of it, obviously, and you multiply that by 10 or 20, 100 employees, it's huge in how that works.
Yes. And so, what do you think also about this? That is it science said that only we humans uses 10% of their brain? Is that true?
I've heard that. I've heard that many times. There's speculation about whether that particular study is true or not. But in a company, we're definitely using way less than we could because we're not aligned.
That's right. Alignment is key.
And we don't capitalize our brain in neuroscience has something called neuroplasticity, meaning that we can create, there's ways that we can create and learn according to how we're designed if we're focused on doing that. And so all that said to me is that we're operating far underneath our capacity of what we could. So when we line things up according to the purpose and design of a company, and then we structure our job descriptions and how we communicate according to design, then you see huge amounts of exponential growth and productivity in a team. It's pretty spectacular.
It's really awesome. So that's why they keep saying that in team there is, what does that mean? TEAM. Does that mean now? Team, in team, everyone. What does that mean, Maria? TEAM. If you are in a team, you are more successful than being an individual. Because that's how we are designed anyway. And even in love, you cannot just you would say you just be loving if you focus on just one person. Does somebody ask?
Tell you something. If,
Yes?
An individual win a game. A team win championship.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's no I in team.
There's no, that's what
Absolutely.
there's no I in team, meaning everybody works together. And we are designed to be, no man is an island. That means something.
Yep.
That means you can probably get 100% as an individual, but if you are a group, a team, you get 300 to 1,000%. I would say.
Absolutely,
yes.
and that's what we experience is we can go in and help teams set themselves up to capitalize on the true potential that they have. If you look at how much corporations are losing in turnover, it's huge. But even at that, even if they keep the people, they're still operating at less than 50% of what they could if they would align themselves up with a different perspective.
I see. So do you suggest that corporations should really look into, so you would work with the HR department, right? Because when you are choosing people to work in this corporation, you want to do all this testing so that they're the right people for the job, or how does that work?
We usually start with the top level people.
I see.
And then we teach them how to recognize. It has to start from the top and go down.
Oh, cool.
And so the full-on assessment is as much. It's also more about learning to understand. So you want your executives and everything to learn to understand other people, even if those people, if you've got 1,000 employees, you can't, this is our process per person can be 8 to 12 hours. So we wouldn't need to spend for thousands of people 8 to 12 hours, because if I understand other people, now I can help them even though they don't realize that I'm helping them.
Right. So that's why you focus on the top, going down.
Exactly.
From the bottom.
Exactly.
That makes perfect sense, because then you would really focus on who is in charge so that they can help the ones at the bottom.
Because we want to help them draw out the best in the people they're leading.
That's right. See, that's a great thing for leadership too.
So, and as they bring people from underneath them up to another level of leadership, then and they are leading others, then we can do the assessment for them to help them lead others.
Awesome. That's awesome. I really like that. And again, in order for you to love somebody, you got to understand them. And that makes perfect sense, because even with diversity, what is this you said? Fulfillment and unity is diversity with understanding.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So can you please explain that more to me?
Most companies and most people go outside to look for what they need to do for success.
Yes.
When in the reality is they already have what they need for success. They just don't know, it's latent inside them. They just don't know how to bring it out. Whether it's an individual or whether it's a corporation. And then what corporations and individuals do is when they want to fix things, they focus on the behavior. They say, we need this to do this, and so we need to change our behavior. Well, it's a struggle if you're changing behavior, but there's things inside you that are fighting against that and you don't know why. Then even when you're successful at changing the behavior, there's a lot of friction.
And then of course, so friction causes unhappiness.
Right, and it makes it hard.
Discontent.
So, but once you understand your design, the friction, a lot of the friction goes away.
Yeah, there's the freedom.
How I like to describe it is this, is that if you were really, really tired and for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you didn't know why, and you went to the doctor and they did blood tests, and it was inconclusive, they gave you some drugs and said, try this, and you read up on it, and you said, I need to exercise, and so you started exercising, and you said, I need to change my habits, I need to have a better nighttime routine, and no screens after 7 o'clock, and you changed your diet, and you changed all these different things, but you were still tired, and you couldn't figure out, you were trying to change your behaviors, but you still were tired. You weren't getting great sleep. You didn't know why.
You're not getting good results, even if you change all these things in your life.
And then one day you opened up the newspaper, or for the millennials, the newspaper was like it's like some online news form.
Yes, online thing.
And you read that there was a water filter company that was going out of business because they were being sued for millions and millions and millions of dollars because they were making water filters that made people tired. And you realize that that's the water filter that you use for your water.
So now you're going to change it.
So you go and you take it out, you put a different water filter in, and you're not tired anymore.
That's awesome.
Now, let me ask you a question. would you ever take that other water filter that was making you tired and put it back in and use it
No,
again?
no way at all. I
So-
will totally change it.
Well, let me ask you this question. Would it be hard? Would it be a hard decision? Would you struggle with that decision? Would you be like, man, I've used this water filter for so long, I really want to use it instead of that? Would you struggle with that?
Not for me.
You wouldn't even struggle, right?
I would not even think twice.
Because
I would,
once you know, it's
Yes.
like all of a sudden, it's an easy decision.
yes.
And so many times in life, whether it's in corporation or people trying to build habits, they struggle for these habits to get these habits done, or they struggle to understand
Yes.
these things. But once they understand their design, all of a sudden the light goes off, and a lot of the things that they've struggled with before, they don't struggle with anymore.
Yes, but my question is, Doug, why is it that for me personally,
Yeah.
I know that I need to do something to change my life for the better, but how come it's still so hard for me to make the change? Is that the same question you're asking?
It is, because if you have this if you're struggling to make it, but you don't know, if you have an idea of what you're interested in doing, but you don't know how all the parts of your design were meant to fit together.
Right.
And so you might be doing things that you know you should be doing, but you may not be doing it in the right way. Or sometimes we're doing things and we're not giving ourselves permission to. There's things that we're doing that we think we should be doing,
Yes.
but we're not sure if it's that we should, or whether I should be doing it a different way. And so what holds you back is not your weaknesses, it's an overextension or diminishments of your strengths. And so the people that really change the world are people that learn to be unique in themselves, but you have to get away from what the rest of the world says sometimes. So like Einstein, Edison, Steve Jobs, Branson, all the people that did amazing things, they had all these people trying to fit them into a box.
Yes.
And the reason that they were successful is because they broke out of their box and they
they
learned their own
found-
design and they did their thing their way.
I see.
But their thing their way doesn't necessarily work for me.
That's
or
right,
you.
because everybody's unique.
It's different. So when you learn your way, now all of those struggles, a lot of times they go away because now you know how it works, and you give yourself permission, and you can focus on how you're designed, not somebody else's.
Wow, that's amazing, you guys. Did everybody feel more enriched now after we listened to Doug? I definitely am. And thank you so much, Doug. And how could the audience get in touch with you if they want to talk to you about or ask you about anything?
Okay, good. That's a great question. So I'm pretty busy. All my business comes from referral. I do have a website.
Yes.
It's u3leadership.com. And
Tell them.
u3leadership.com. And if you go onto that website, and at the bottom there's a little contact form, you can fill that out, and I can get in touch with you, and we can have a discussion and see if this is something that's right for you.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And I have more questions to ask, but maybe for next time.
Okay.
I know that you'll come back again, and I really enjoyed your being with us in the show, and I'm sure my audience are very grateful too. And thank you so much, and I hope that all will work with you as always. And by the way, Doug Wood here is a minister also. Everything that he does is Bible-based. Tell them, Doug.
Yeah, everything that we do starts from the standpoint that you were created good and there's no bad designs.
Yeah, there you go.
So we want to live in a way that we can be who we were created to be originally.
That's awesome. And I know that God has designed us differently from everyone. So be accepting and be understanding with other people. Even in your family, there could be different people in your family. And if you understand them more, and you can love them better. Love is everywhere after all. Whether we like it or not, love is here around us. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Again, everyone. I love you all. And please like our page. And after this show, you will see us on YouTube. You can subscribe also. Social media shows. Love is everywhere. Ciao, bellas, mi amores. Hasta luego. a show where we bring out the best in everyone. Every week, we inspire others to show love, joy,